Well, they did a little remodel job, a big remodel job on a little house. Now he wants a stone wall, not a retaining wall.
This rock we're going to build this wall out of is actually scrap rock I got from another job last year. Just couldn't make myself throw it away. So we've hauled it 20, 30 miles home, and now we're hauling it 10 miles to this job, but we're going to try to make some use out of it.
You can see the thin blue line going through there. That's going to be our, kind of what the wall's going to be.
We didn't do a lot of video on where I cut the footer for the wall. We just cut it level and had to step it down on this hill, but it took quite a bit of work to get it straight, and we were kind of fooling with not very good rock. It's really hard to build a decent wall. The owner said he didn't want a good close-faced wall, and I said, well, that's a good thing, because this is all we got to work with. So didn't cost, not going to cost him too much for this rock. So this is the kind of wall he wanted. So you know, that's just kind of what we're doing. We're pedaling along, and as you can see, it's hard. A round rock laying on another round bottom rock, and we didn't cut. And we broke a few pieces here and there and tried to level it, and just did the best we could do. But just a lot of trial and error. Put them in, take them back out, and move it. It was amazing when you do that. You'll take one rock and it's just an aggravating darn rock. Doesn't lay right. It's crooked. It's got a big lip on it or something, and you just get aggravated fooling with it. And then all of a sudden, and you'll pick it up and take it and put it away and put another rock in its place, and then all of a sudden you'll pick it back up and it'll fit like a glove in another spot. So it just takes time. We don't claim to be professional rock people. This rock came off of a job. A professional rock person went in and picked through it before I got a hold of it. So he got the best rock, and he is a professional. But the rest of the rock, I just could not make myself. I had to take a dozer and cover up tons and tons and tons of this kind of rock. And I just went through and picked out 3 tracks or loads, hauled them home, and this is what I wound up with. I'm gonna stop in this video in the timeline, and I went back in some old videos that I had, and this was a video that I took where that rock came from. You can see there was the rock mason had some piled up and was going to take it, and he didn't. Everything was here. I was to cover up with the dirt that you see in behind that. That was an acclamation of stuff that had been 5 years building where they hammered for a big house. But anyway, I just couldn't bring myself to throw all of this rock away. I covered up a tremendous amount of it. I just hauled 3 tractor loads out of there. But I just wanted to give you an idea of what I was doing and why I just couldn't throw it away. Here's a classic example of what we did many, many times. Put a rock down, it just wouldn't lay right, it didn't look right. This rock right here, we just took it, flipped it around, put it back up there. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But just a lot of trial and error. Yeah, this darn rock, it was a great big wide rock, but if you look at it, I've already laid it twice. But pick it up, look at the end of it. Just had a big turned up on the end, twisted. No matter what you did with it, it wasn't going to lay right. I just got tired of fooling with it. I picked it up and took it down to that little far end of it where most of it's going to be covered up, and just put it down there. Look how big it was. That little excavator. It was amazing how it handled those big rocks. You kind of had to be careful sometimes, but when you're stretched out a little bit. But it handled. That's probably a 500-pound rock or 600-pound right there. But it handled them extremely well. And I put that thumb on there after I bought the machine, and I'm telling you, that's one of the best things I believe I've ever put on a piece of equipment. Now right there, that's that same rock. I got aggravated with it, and I picked it up and dropped it. We wound up using it, but we may have had to bust it. I forgot what we did with it, but no matter what we did with it, it just wouldn't do right. And I'm still playing with it here. I don't know whether I picked it back up or not. I'm trying to turn it around to see if we can make it work one way or the other. And that's just what you had to do. It wasn't fit to be laid in a wall, but I flipped it around and we stuck it back up there again. It's in the wall permanent now, so good enough.
Like it was.
And a lot of times that's what we'd lay a rock, wouldn't set right, take it off, lay it back down, spin it, put it back up the other side, sticking out. I mean, just had to keep playing with them. It was a slow process. Thank goodness we had the little excavator and the bobcat to do the grunt work. And a lot of times, this is what we would have to do. We were both running two pieces of equipment. I'd pick up a rock and find a spot. He'd go pick up a rock with a bobcat and find a spot. You know, everybody looks at stuff different, so we just kind of got our heads together, and he'd put a rock down, I'd help him. I'd put a rock down, he'd help me. And then we just fill in the gaps. That's all we could do. Yeah, here's just a little time lapse. It's kind of repetitious. Took us about 3 days, 2.5, 3 days to build this wall. So just a little time lapse of what's going on as we were building. And also, after we got this wall built, we backfilled it with number 9 gravel as we went to give us a little bit of stability in the wall. And then we uncovered it and some of the top of it, and we just put about 30 bags of concrete in the kind of the top layers of it and let it go down in. I didn't want it coming out the front, but we got down inside of it, and then we put some landscape fabric in behind that, and then to cover it up. And then here's a few shots. The first, I believe this was the second day. Just took a few pictures as we were leaving that particular day. Give us a little timestamp of how we were getting along. And here is, we've got the wall built just to kind of get an idea of what we're looking at here. That's what he wanted. We just got to clean up. And as usual, it rained us out after a day or so. We'd work a day or so, and it did rain us out. So we pulled some equipment in the shed and did it. Finally, we were able to get in there and do a little bit of cleanup and start moving some of these old rocks around. Those rocks in the foreground were kind of different rock. I call them dinosaur rock. They came from another job. We were use those for decorative purposes. But now the sun finally came back out again. We're going to be able to do a little work and start cleaning the place up. And then we got to haul some dirt. We got to fill up the whole front yard. That's what the retaining wall is for. And here we've hauled the dirt. I didn't do much video in there, but we're going to put some more dirt down on this end finish this wall out. But here's the top behind the wall toward the house. That's exactly what they wanted. Now we're going to cut a circle driveway in front of this house to kind of finish it up. But there's just a drive-by after hauling some dirt. And of course, it rained us out again, so we had to stop. We're in the process of waiting for it to dry up now. And right here, down below this house, we were able to enlarge the parking lot for the shop area and use 4 loads of good topsoil in the front yard. And as usual, thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and God bless America.